This is David Whispers, and tonight I am going to be reading about if video game favorites were gauged by amount of time played. This would be my technically favorite video game. It is Super Smash Bros. So, Super Smash Bros. Is a crossover fighting game series published by Nintendo and primarily features characters from various Nintendo franchises. The series was created by Masahiro Sakurai, who has directed every game in the series. The gameplay objective differs from that of traditional fighters, in that the aim is to increase damage counters and knock opponents off the stage instead of depleting life bars. The original Super Smash Bros. Was released in 1999 for the Nintendo 64. The series achieved even greater success with the release of Super Smash Bros. Melee, which was released in 2001 for the GameCube and became the best-selling game on that system. A third installment, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, was released in 2008 for the Wii. Although HAL Laboratory had been the developer for the first two games, the third game was developed through the collaboration of several companies. The fourth installment, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, was released in 2014 for the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, respectively. The 3DS installment was the first for a handheld platform. A fifth installment, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, was released in 2018 for the Nintendo Switch. The series features many characters from Nintendo's most popular franchises, including Super Mario, Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Yoshi, Kirby, Star Fox, and Pokemon. The original Super Smash Bros. Had only 12 playable characters, with the roster count rising for each successive game, and later including third-party characters, with Ultimate containing every character playable in the previous games. In Melee, Brawl, and Ultimate, some characters are able to transform into different forms that have different styles of play and sets of moves. Every game in the series has been well received by critics, with much praise given to their multiplayer features, spawning a large competitive community that has been featured in several gaming tournaments. Gameplay in the Super Smash Bros. Series differs from many fighting games. Instead of winning by depleting an opponent's life bar, players seek to launch their opponents off the stage and out of bounds. Characters have a damage total, which rises as they take damage, represented by a percentage value that measures up to 999%. As a character's percentage rises, the character can be knocked progressively farther by an opponent's attacks. To knock out an opponent, the player must knock that character outside the stage's boundaries in any direction. When a character is launched off the stage, the character can attempt to recover by using jumping moves and abilities to return to the stage. Some characters have an easier time recovering onto the stage than others due to their moves and abilities. Additionally, some characters vary in weight, with lighter characters being easier to launch than heavy characters. Controls are greatly simplified in comparison to other fighting games, with one button used for standard attacks and another used for special attacks. Players can perform different types of moves by holding the directional controls up, down, to the side, or in a neutral position, while pressing the attack or special button. As such, each character has 4 types of ground attacks, mid-air attacks, and special attacks that can be performed. which is generally more powerful than other attacks. When characters are hit by attacks, they receive a hit stun that temporarily disallows any attacks to be made. This allows combos to be performed. A shield button allows players to put up a defensive shield which weakens with repeated use and will leave the player unable to move if broken. Combining the shield button with directional inputs and attack buttons allows the player to also perform dodges, rolls, grabs, and throws. The three basic actions in Super Smash Bros, attacking, grabbing, and shielding, are often described using a rock, paper, scissors analogy. Attacking beats grabbing, grabbing beats shielding, and shielding beats attacking. When a player knocks another player off the main platform, they may perform an action called edge guarding. At the same time, the player that has been knocked off will try to recover by jumping back onto the stage and avoiding the other player's edge guarding. Another element in the Super Smash Bros. Series is battle items, the abundance of which players can adjust them before matches. There are conventional battering items with which a player may hit an opponent, such as a home run bat or a beam sword, throwing items including bob-ombs and Koopa shells, and shooting items, either single shotguns or rapid-fire blasters. Recovery items allow the user to reduce their damage percentage by varying amounts. Pokeballs are special items that release a random Pokemon onto the battlefield to temporarily assist the user. Brawl introduced the Assist Trophy item, which serves a similar purpose. Instead of releasing Pokemon, it summons a character from another series. Brawl also introduces the Smash Ball, which, when broken, allows the fighter to perform a character-specific super attack known as a Final Smash. The rules that can be used in a match vary depending on the game, but the two most commonly used settings across all games are time and stock. Time mode uses a point-based system in which fighters earn points for knocking out their opponents and lose points for being knocked out or self-destructing, i.e. falling off of the stage by themselves. The player with the highest score at the end of the set time limit wins the match. Stock mode, also known as survival, uses a life-based system in which players are given a set number of lives known as a stock, with each fighter losing a life whenever they are knocked out, becoming eliminated if they run out of lives. The winner is the last fighter standing once all other fighters are eliminated, or, if a time limit is applied to the match, the fighter with the most lives remaining once time runs out. In the event of a tie, a sudden death match takes place. Here, each of the tied fighters are given a starting damage percentage of 300%, making them easier to launch off the stage, and the last fighter standing will be declared as the winner. In some games, this process is repeated if the match ends in another tie. Gameplay using competitive Super Smash Bros. Rules is usually played in stock mode with a timer. Items are turned off, and the only tournament-legal stages are those that do not feature hazards and other disruptive elements. Games. Super Smash Bros. 1999. Super Smash Bros. Was introduced in 1999 for the Nintendo 64. It was released worldwide after selling over 1 million copies in Japan. It featured 8 characters from the start: Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, and Pikachu, with 4 unlockable characters: Luigi, Captain Falcon, Ness, and Jigglypuff, all of them created by Nintendo or one of its second-party developers. In Super Smash Bros., up to 4 players can play in multiplayer versus mode, with the specific rules of each match being predetermined by the players. There are 2 match types that can be chosen: time, where the person with the most KOs at the end of the set time wins, and stock, where each has a set number of lives and are eliminated from play when their lives are depleted. This game's primary single-player mode, named Classic Mode in later series entries, features a series of predetermined opponents the player must defeat. Other single-player modes exist, such as training and several mini-games, including Break the Targets and Board the Platforms. All of these were included in the sequel, with the exception of Board the Platforms. There are 9 playable stages in Versus Mode, 8 based on each of the starting characters, such as Princess Peach's Castle for Mario, Zebes for Samus, and Sector Z for Fox, and the unlockable Mushroom Kingdom, based around motifs from the original Super Mario Bros., even containing original sprites and the original version of the overworld theme from that game. Super Smash Bros. Melee 2001. A follow-up for the GameCube, Super Smash Bros. Melee, released in Japan and North America in late 2001, and in Europe and Australia in May 2002. It had a larger budget and development team than Super Smash Bros. Did, and was released to much greater praise and acclaim among critics and consumers. Since its release, Super Smash Bros. Melee has sold more than 7 million copies and was the best-selling game on the GameCube. Super Smash Bros. Melee features 26 characters, of which 15 are available initially, more than doubling the number of characters in its predecessor. There are also 29 stages. It introduced 2 new single-player modes alongside the Classic Mode: Adventure Mode and All-Star Mode. Adventure Mode has platforming segments similar to the original's Race to the Finish minigame, and All-Star is a fight against every playable character in the game, allows the player only 1 life in which damage is accumulated over each battle, and a limited number of healing items in between battles. Also in Melee is the Home Run Contest minigame, which replaced Board the Platforms in the original game. Here, fighters will have to send Sandbag out of the stage to get the best distance with a baseball bat while damaging it for 10 seconds. There are also significantly more multiplayer modes and a tournament mode allowing for 64 different competitors whom can all be controlled by human players, although only up to 4 players can participate at the same time. Additionally, the game featured alternative battle modes called Special Melee, which allows players to make many different alterations to the battle, along with alternative ways to judge a victory, such as through collecting coins throughout the match. In place of Super Smash Bros. Character profiles, Melee introduced trophies called figures in the Japanese version. The 293 trophies include 3 different profiles for each playable character, 1 unlocked in each single-player mode. In addition, unlike its predecessor, Melee contains profiles for many Nintendo characters who are either non-playable or do not appear in the game, as well as Nintendo items, stages, enemies, and elements. Super Smash Bros. Brawl 2008. Although a third Super Smash Bros. Game had been announced long before E3 2006, Nintendo unveiled its first information in the form of a trailer in 2006, and the game was named Super Smash Bros. Brawl and released worldwide in 2008. The game featured a set of third-party characters, Solid Snake of Konami's Metal Gear series, and longtime Mario rival Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega's series of the same name. Brawl was also the first game in the franchise to support online play via the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, and to offer the ability for players to construct their own original stages. The game features a total of 39 playable characters and 41 stages. Brawl also features compatibility with 4 kinds of controllers: the Wii Remote on its side, the Wii Remote and Nunchuck combination, the Classic controller, and the GameCube controller, while its predecessors only used the one controller designed for that system. The player also has the ability to change the configuration of controls and the controller type. Super Smash Bros Brawl features a single-player mode known as the Subspace Emissary. This mode features unique character storylines along with numerous side-scrolling levels and multiple bosses to fight, as well as CG cutscenes explaining the storyline. The Subspace Emissary features a new group of antagonists called the Subspace Army, who are led by the Ancient Minister. Some of these enemy characters appeared in previous Nintendo video games, such as Petey Piranha from the Super Mario series and a squadron of Robs based on classic Nintendo hardware. The Subspace Emissary also boasts a number of original enemies, such as the Rotor, a robotic unicycle, the Bitan, a one-eyed ball-like creature which can replicate itself if left alone, and the Primid, enemies that come in many variations. Though primarily a single-player mode, the Subspace Emissary allows for cooperative multiplayer. There are 5 difficulty levels for each stage, and there is a method of increasing characters' powers during that game. This is done by placing collected stickers onto the bottom of a character's trophy between stages to improve various aspects of a fighter. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U from 2014. At E3 2011, it was confirmed that a 4th Super Smash Bros. Game would be coming to the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, with 2 games being cross-compatible with each other. Sakurai stated that the announcement was made public in order to attract developers needed for the games, as development for the games did not start until May 2012 due to production on Kid Icarus Uprising. On June 21st, 2012, Nintendo announced that the creation of the games would be a co-production between Sakurai's Sora Limited and Bandai Namco Entertainment. The games were officially revealed at E3 2013, with new information being released via trailers, Nintendo Direct presentations, and developer posts on the Miiverse. The game features 58 characters, 19 of whom are new and 7 of whom are downloadable. The game was released for Nintendo 3DS in Japan in September 2014 and in North America, Europe, and Australia the following month. The Wii U version was released in North America, Europe, and Australia in November 2014 and in Japan the following month. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 2018. In April 2014, Bandai Namco Entertainment posted a recruitment advertisement on a Japanese career job opportunity website. The recruitment page consisted of a listing for programmers for Smash Bros 6, which was expected to be released in 2015 for both the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. The page noted there were 120 game developers working on the project at the time, and that Bandai Namco expected that number to increase to 200. However, shortly after its production, the page was taken down. In a January 2015 column in Weekly Famitsu, Sakurai alluded to the possibility of retirement, expressing doubt that he would be able to continue making games if his career continued to be as stressful as it was. In December 2015, Sakurai once again stated that he was not sure if there would be another game in the Smash Bros. Series. On March 8th, 2018, a teaser for the game was shown during a Nintendo Direct. Sakurai later confirmed that he had worked on the game in silence day after day. On March 22nd, 2018, Nintendo announced that they would host another Super Smash Bros. Invitational tournament in which a selected group of players would get to play the game for the first time and compete in a series of matches before a winner is chosen. The tournament took place alongside the Splatoon 2 World Championship at E3 2018 and was held on June 11th through 12th. Both events were live streamed on Nintendo's official YouTube and 7th, 2018, according to the review aggregator platform Metacritic. It received universal critical acclaim from critics and scored 93 out of 100. In addition to all returning characters, the base game release adds 11 newcomers. 13 additional new characters are also available via downloadable content. Like Brawl, Ultimate features a story mode known as World of Light. The plot revolves around the destruction of the Smash Bros world at the hands of original villain Galeem. Initially only able to play as Kirby, who survived the attack, the player travels across the wasteland to rescue the other playable fighters, gathering spirits, the remnants of the world's non-playable characters who aid the player in battle along the way. Characters. Each game in the series has a number of playable characters referenced in the games as fighters, taken from various gaming franchises, with 83 total across the series. Starting with Super Smash Bros Brawl, characters from the non-Nintendo franchises began to make playable appearances. In Super Smash Bros for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, players were able to customize existing fighters with altered movesets and abilities, as well as making their own Mii fighters that can be given 3 different fighting styles. There are also non-playable characters that can take the form of enemies, bosses, and summonable power-up items. Development. Super Smash Bros. Was developed by HAL Laboratory, an independent affiliate company, during 1998. It began as a prototype created by Masahiro Sakurai and Satoru Iwata in their spare time, Dragon King, the fighting game, and featured no Nintendo characters. However, Sakurai hit on the idea of including fighters from different Nintendo franchises in order to provide an atmosphere which he felt was necessary for a home console fighting game, and his idea was approved. Although never acknowledged by Nintendo or any developers behind Super Smash Bros., third-party sources have identified Namco's 1995 fighting game, The Outfoxies, as a possible inspiration. The game had a small budget and little promotion, and was originally a Japan-only release, but its huge success saw the game released worldwide. HAL Laboratory developed Super Smash Bros. Melee, which Masahiro Sakurai as the head of production. The game was one of the first games released on the Nintendo GameCube and highlighted the advancement in graphics from the Nintendo 64. The developers wanted to pay homage to the debut of the GameCube by making an opening full-motion video sequence that would attract people's attention to the graphics. HAL worked with 3 separate graphic houses in Tokyo to make the opening sequence. On their official website, the developers posted screenshots and information highlighting and explaining the attention to physics and detail in the game, with references to changes from its predecessor. The Super Smash Bros. Logo, consisting of 2 lines of different weight crossing within a circle, represented the idea of a franchise crossover, according to Sakurai, naturally dividing the circle into 4 sections to represent the 4-player fighting mode. At a pre-E3 2005 press conference, president of Nintendo at the time, Satoru Iwata, announced the next installment of Super Smash Bros. Was not only already in development for their next gaming console, but hoped it would be a launch game with Wi-Fi compatibility for online play. The announcement was unexpected to the creator of the Super Smash Bros. Series, Masahiro Sakurai. Back in 2003, he had left HAL Laboratory, the company that was in charge with the franchise's development, and was never informed of this announcement, despite the fact shortly after resigning from the company, Iwata said if a new game was to be made, he would be in charge. It was not until after the conference Sakurai was called to Satoru Iwata's room on the top floor of a Los Angeles hotel, where he was told by Iwata, "We'd like you to be involved in the production of the new Smash Bros, if possible near the level of director." Although Iwata had said he was hoping for it to be a launch game, Sakurai stated, "I decided to become director. And as of May 2005, I was the only member of the new Smash Bros development team. Development of the game never actually started until October 2005, when Nintendo opened a new office in Tokyo just for its production. Nintendo also enlisted outside help from various developer studios, mainly Game Arts." Sakurai also stated that these people had spent excessive amounts of time playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. This team was given access to all the original material and tools from the development of Melee, courtesy of HAL Laboratory. Also, several Smash Bros. Staff members that reside around the area of the new office joined the project's development. On the game's official Japanese website, the developers explained the reasons for making particular characters playable and explain why some characters were not available as playable characters upon release. Initially, the development team wanted to replace Ness with Lucas, the main character of Mother 3 for the Game Boy Advance, but they retained Ness in consideration of delays. The game's creators have included Lucas in the game's sequel, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Video game developer Hideo Kojima originally requested Solid Snake, the protagonist of the Metal Gear series, to be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but the game was too far in development for him to be included. As with Lucas, development time allowed for his inclusion in Brawl. Roy and Marth were initially intended to be playable exclusively in the Japanese version of Super Smash Bros. Melee. However, they received favorable attention during the game's North American localization, leading to the decision for the developers to include them in the Western version. Comparisons have been formed by the developers between characters which have very similar moves to each other on the website. Such characters were referred to as clones in the media. At the Nintendo Media Conference at E3 2007, it was announced by Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aime that Super Smash Bros. Brawl would be released on December 3rd, 2007 in the Americas. However, just 2 months before its anticipated December release, the development team asked for more time to work on the game. During the Nintendo conference on October 10th, 2007, Nintendo Co-Limited President Iwata announced the delay. On October 11th, 2007, George Harrison of Nintendo of America announced that Super Smash Bros. Brawl would be released on February 10th, 2008 in North America. On January 15th, 2008, the game's release was pushed back 1 week in Japan to January 31st and nearly a month in the Americas to March 9th. On April 24th, 2008, it was confirmed by Nintendo of Europe that Brawl will be released in Europe on June 27th. Director Masahiro Sakurai first announced that a new Super Smash Bros. Game was planned for Nintendo 3DS and Wii U at E3 2011 in June 2011, but development only officially began following the completion of Sakurai's other project, Kid Icarus Uprising, in March 2012. The game was later revealed to be a joint project between Sora Limited and Bandai Namco Games, with various staff members from Bandai Namco's Soul Calibur and Tekken series assisting Sakurai in development. Sakurai, who was previously the sole person responsible for balance in the series' multiple fighters, has involved more staff to further improve the game's competitive balance. The game was officially revealed at E3 2013 on June 11th, 2013, during a Nintendo Direct presentation, along with screenshots being posted each weekday on the game's official website and Miiverse community. Various cinematic trailers were released introducing introducing each of the brand new fighters. Sakurai chose to use these trailers, which benefit from internet sharing as opposed to including a story campaign similar to the subspace emissary mode featured in Brawl, as he believed the impact of seeing the mode's cinematic cutscenes for the first time was ruined by people uploading said scenes to video sharing websites. At E3 2013, Sakurai stated that the tripping mechanic introduced in Brawl was removed, with him also stating that gameplay was between the fast-paced and competitive style of Melee and the slower and more casual style of Brawl. While the games didn't feature cross-platform play between the Wii U and 3DS, due to each version featuring certain exclusive stages and game modes, there is an option to transfer customized characters and items between the two versions. The game builds upon the previous game's third-party involvement with the addition of third-party characters such as Capcom's Mega Man and Bandai Namco's Pac-Man, as well as the return of Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. This involvement expands beyond playable characters, as other third-party characters such as Ubisoft's Rayman are also included in the game as trophies. The addition of Mii characters was made in response to the growing number of requests from fans to have their dream character included in the game, to prevent potential bullying, as well as to maintain game balance online. Mii fighters cannot be used in online matches against strangers. The decision to release the Wii U version at a later date from the 3DS version was made to allow each version to receive a dedicated debugging period. Hardware limitations on the Nintendo 3DS led to various design choices, such as the removal of mid-match transformations, the absence of the ice climbers, and the lack of Circle Pad Pro support. Music. Super Smash Bros. Features music from some of Nintendo's popular gaming franchises. While many are newly arranged for the game, some songs are taken directly from their sources. The music for the Nintendo 64 game was composed by Hirokazu Ando, who later returned as sound and music director in Melee. Melee also features tracks composed by Tadashi Ikegami, Shogu Sakai, and Takuto Kitsuta. Brawl featured the collaboration of 38 contracted composers, including Final Fantasy series composer Nobuo Uematsu, who composed the main theme. Like in Brawl, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U featured many original and rearranged tracks from various different gaming franchises from a variety of different composers and arrangers. Both features have multiple musical tracks that can be selected and listened to using the returning My Music feature, including pieces taken directly from earlier Super Smash Bros. Games. The 3DS and Switch games allow players to listen to their music from the sound menu while the system is in sleep or handheld mode. Ultimate continued the trend of multiple composers and arrangers working on remixed tracks, having over 800 in total. 3 soundtrack albums for the series have been released. In an album with the original music for Super Smash Bros. Was released in Japan by Teichiku Records in 2000. In 2003, Nintendo released Smashing Live, a live orchestrated performance of various pieces featured in Melee by the New Japan Philharmonic. A 2-disc promotional soundtrack titled A Smashing Soundtrack was available for Club Nintendo members who registered both the 3DS and Wii U games between November 21st, 2014 and January 13th, 2015. In terms of sales and aggregate review scores as of March 31st, 2020, Super Smash Bros. From 1999 sold 5.55 million copies. Super Smash Bros. Melee 2001 sold 7.09 million copies. Super Smash Bros. Brawl from 2008 sold 13.32 million copies. copies. Super Smash Bros. Brawl for Nintendo 3DS in 2014, 9.59 million copies. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, also from 2014, 5.37 million copies. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from 2018, 22.85 million copies. Reviews for the Super Smash Bros. Series are usually positive. The multiplayer mode in every game is usually highly praised. However, single-player modes have not always been viewed as highly. Super Smash Bros. Received praise for its multiplayer mode. Nintendo Power listed the series as being one of the greatest multiplayer experiences in Nintendo history, describing it as infinitely replayable due to its special moves and close quarters combat. There were criticisms, however, such as the game's scoring being too difficult to follow. In addition, the single-player mode was criticized for its perceived difficulty and lack of features. Super Smash Bros. Melee generally received a positive reception from reviewers, most of whom credited Melee's expansion of gameplay features from Super Smash Bros. Focusing on the additional features. GameSpy commented that Melee really scores big in the "we've added tons of great extra stuff" department. Reviewers compared the game favorably to Super Smash Bros. IGN's Fran Mirabella III stated that it was in an entirely different league than the Nintendo 64 version. GameSpot's Miguel Lopez praised the game for offering an advanced classic mode compared to its predecessor, while detailing the adventure mode as really a hit-or-miss experience. Despite a mixed response to the single-player modes, most reviewers expressed the game's multiplayer mode as a strong component of the game. In their review of the game, GameSpy stated that you'll have a pretty hard time finding a more enjoyable multiplayer experience on any other console. Brawl received a perfect score from the Japanese magazine Famitsu. The reviewers praised the variety and depth of the single-player content, the unpredictability of the final smashes, and the dynamic fighting styles of the characters. Thunderbolt Games gave the game 10 out of 10, calling it a vastly improved entry into the venerable series. Chris Slate of Nintendo Power also awarded Brawl a perfect score in its March 2008 issue, calling it one of the very best games the Nintendo has ever produced. IGN critic Matt Casamassina, in his February 11th We K in Review podcast, noted that although Brawl is a solid fighter, it does have some issues that need to be acknowledged, including long loading times and repetition in the subspace emissary. Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U both garnered critical praise and were commercially successful, holding current ratings of 85 out of 100 and 92 out of 100 on Metacritic and 86.10 and 92.39 on Game Rankings. Reviewers have particularly noticed the large, diverse character roster, the improvements to game mechanics, and the variety of multiplayer options. Some criticisms in the 3DS versions include a lack of single-player modes and issues concerning the 3DS hardware, such as the size of characters on the smaller screen when zoomed out, and latency issues during both local and online multiplayer. There were also reports of players damaging their 3DS circle pads while playing the game excessively. The Wii U version's online play quality was mildly criticized for some inconsistency, but has overall been critically acclaimed. Daniel Dishoff of Game Revolution stated, "It's true that Super Smash Bros. Evolves every time with regard to new features, items, and characters to choose from. While your favorite character may not return, or a few annoying pickups may force you to turn off items altogether, this represents the biggest leap forward Smashers have seen yet." Daniel Starkey at GameSpot criticized the inconsistent online performance in the game, but still called it an incredible game, noting with the Wii U release, Smash Bros. Has fully realized its goals. Jose Otero from IGN, praising the replayability of the game, states nearly every aspect of Smash Wii U seems fine-tuned not only to appeal to the nostalgia of longtime Nintendo fans, but also to be accessible to new players. Sales. Super Smash Bros. Sold 1.4 million copies in Japan and 2.3 million in the US, with a total of 5.55 million units worldwide. Melee sold over 7 million units worldwide, becoming the best-selling GameCube game. Brawl sold 1.524 million units in Japan as of March 30th, 2008, and sold 1.4 million units in its first week in the United States, becoming Nintendo of America's fastest-selling game. The 3DS version sold over 1 million copies in its first weekend on sale in Japan, and has sold more than 9.59 million copies worldwide as of March 2020. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U became the fastest-selling Wii U game to date, selling 3.39 million units worldwide within just 2 months of availability, beating the record previously held by Mario Kart 8. As of September 2018, it has sold 5.35 million copies worldwide. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Nintendo Switch has set new record highs for the series and for the system. It sold an estimate of 5.6 million copies in global sales during its first week of launch, beating out records previously held by games such as Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Let's Go Eevee, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In Japan, Ultimate outsold the records held by Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS with 2.6 million copies sold in 5 weeks. It is also the third best-selling game for the Nintendo Switch and the best-selling fighting game of all time, with 22.85 million copies sold worldwide as of December 2020. The Super Smash Bros. Series has been widely played as competitive video games and has been featured in several high-profile tournaments. The first publicized Super Smash Bros. Melee tournaments were held in early 2002. From 2004 to 2007, Melee was on Major League Gaming's tournament roster. In 2010, Major League Gaming picked up Brawl for its pro circuit for a year. During this time, Nintendo prohibited MLG from live streaming Brawl matches. At 2014 MLG Anaheim, Melee was once again hosted at an MLG event. Melee was also included at the Evolution Championship Series EVO in 2007, a fighting game tournament held in Las Vegas. Melee was again hosted at EVO 2013 after it won a charity drive to decide the final game to be featured in its tournament lineup. Due to the large turnout and popularity that year, EVO again included a Melee tournament at their 2014 and 2015 events. New Jersey-based Apex was another prominent Super Smash Bros. Tournament organizer, being officially sponsored by Nintendo in 2015. And with that, we have come to the end of the Super Smash Bros. Article. And so, closing thoughts, considering it is technically time-wise my favorite game, I didn't know it was, as this just said over here, the best-selling fighting game of all time, with 22.85 million copies sold worldwide, and I am curious if they really mean that globally compared to, for example, Street Fighter. Does this have more copies sold than Street Fighter? I'll tell you what, I'm sure we'll find out, because I am absolutely going to do a Street Fighter read. It would be silly not to. I was originally going to just do a Ryu character read, and I still may do a Ryu character read, but there's no way I'm not going to do a full Fighter wiki read. I have to, because that was before my love of Smash Bros. I was really into Street Fighter. I got in trouble doing stuff just to get the quarters to play Street Fighter, but that's another story. As far as Smash Bros. Goes, I main with Ike, but I will play with any of the Star Fox characters, and I'm missing some people. I'll have fun with Mac a little. Everyone is good anyway. And the Castlevania song, Bloody Tears from Simon's Quest. Awesome. Love it. That is my favorite song out of all of them. And I should also do a Castlevania wiki read. Leave in the comments if you want a Castlevania or Street Fighter or Metroid read. I'm very curious because I want to do all of them. I just don't know what order to do them in. And I'll let you go. You need to be sleeping by now. And I need to move on to record. What am I going to record next? A movie? Should it be an actor? Someone asked for Harry Potter. I will